Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do some borders. I'm excited about today because borders are something I don't excel at, but I can usually come up with an idea here or there. And the ideas I have for today, at least one of them, is definitely using up some of your scraps in your stash. You can use this with any theme, and in fact, I'm taking it from a blog post that Melissa Ullman put out earlier, I think it was earlier this year, and or maybe it was last year. I'm not remembering exactly when this came out. But anyway, and she designed hers around a pet theme for kitties. So, and I made you a Christmas border that is going to turn out stellar. So let's check out my workspace. We'll get started on these couple borders. I think you're going to love them. All right, so this is my workspace for today, and we are going to start with this cute little border right here by Melissa Ullman. I don't know why, but my eye is drawn to a bunch of her designs this year, and this, though you may recognize it as being made with Perfect Kitty, which came out earlier this year, is going to become a cute Christmas border. And so we're going to use up some scraps in doing this. And if you know the Perfect Kitty Cat collection, you'll know that these are made with a punch. But we're just going to use some odd stickers that are left over because everybody has this. I run into this a lot in my experience. I run into having sticker sheets where I've used a bunch of key stickers, but not all of them. And they're all super cute, but you know, you can't put every sticker on your layouts. So then you end up with a sheet like this that has hit or miss embellishments or stickers left on it, and you don't know really what to do with it. So then it sits in your stash waiting for you to remember it, that it exists. So today we are going to utilize a bunch of these stickers. First thing we're going to do is grab a trimmer. And since I'm using mostly smaller pieces of paper, I'm going to grab my guillotine trimmer. I apologize. My cough is in rare form, and I wasn't coughing before I started recording. So, not to blame this on talking, but maybe that's what it is. All right, so I have kind of separated my papers, my scrap papers, into two different piles here. I have a pile of larger pieces, I have a pile of smaller pieces, and the reason is because I need 6 different pieces that measure 2 by 1 3/4. And so I'm going to use these smaller pieces and a piece of this bigger sheet to create those. So I'm going to first come in here. The 3/4 is the width, the 1 3/4. So I'm going to measure this at 1 3/4 and trim it. Then I'm going to turn it and measure it at 2 inches. All right, so there's one piece. And I'm going to take this one and we're going to measure this one at 1 3/4. And this is going to be different depending on which papers you choose to use, which papers you have in your stash that happen to be scraps that you hung on to. Because that's all these are. These are just scraps that I hung on to after projects. So again, 1 3/4 and 2. And this one is going to be 1 3/4 this way, and turning it for 2. think I would probably reorder them, something like that. All right, and then I'm going to take some of this one and we're going to cut it as well, but I'm going to cut a big long strip of this one. We're going to cut this at 2 inches and see if we can get everything that we need from one 2-inch by 12-inch strip. Okay, and before I put my big trimmer away, I have some cranberry cardstock. I want this to be trimmed at, oh, this needs to be 2.5 inches, and these are too narrow for what I want to do. So hang on just a second. Let me go back through my scraps. Okay, so we are going to cut 2 of these that are 2.5 by 12. So those are going to be important in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to take this 2-inch by 12-inch strip. I need 2 pieces that are 1 3/4 because we're going to turn it over. Use the back. That nice tapestry one always reminds me of wallpaper for some reason. I don't know. Okay, and this one I'm going to cut at 2 inches and then I'm going to turn it so that the pattern is going in the more traditional direction. So this needs to be 1 3/4 cut this way, like so. All right, so those are going to go there. I'm only going to be doing 1 border as a sample for you, but just know that I would do 2, which is why I cut 2 of these, because obviously you know by now that I do 2-page layouts, so that's why I cut 2 of these. But really I'm only going to demonstrate 1 for you, and because you can figure out what the other one would look like. It's going to have all the same pieces, and anyways, yeah. Okay, so now these larger pieces we need to be 2 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to turn this and cut it at 3 1/4, and then I'm going to flip it over and cut at 3 1/4 again, so that we have 2 pieces, 2 different patterns. Okay, then these other pieces we're going to do the same thing. So this one's going to be 3 1/4. This one is going to be 3 1/4, and then we're going to turn it because I think it's a little wider than it needs to be. Okay, this one, we need 2 of them at 2 inches. And we're going to trim these at 3 1/4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the only difference here is that this one is not in this. So this one is 2 inches by 1 3/4. So we could replace this so that we're using all the same papers. I think I'm going to do that because I want this to be all the same. And I'm just going to scoop my extra little pieces up here, and I'll go through them a little later. Alright, so we've got all the pieces that we need now. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble all of these wider pieces. Okay, so let's put these in an order that we like. So I'm going to put the 2 reds on either end. I'm going to put a darker green one on the end, maybe like that. Maybe more like that. I like that better. I like having the busier things kind of more spread out, so that'll work nicely. Okay, so I'm going to just put some repositionable adhesive down both sides of my 12-inch piece. And I'm going to start by flipping this over, and we're going to place this, let's see, I'm going to place it on my mat so that I can make sure that I'm centering this piece that's going on it. Okay, so just making sure that it is even on both sides, as even as possible. Hang on. The first one is probably the most important because the rest of them are going to follow suit. So I want to get that one down and straight. And the rest of these we're just going to line up alongside the one before it. Alright, let's see how we did. Not bad. Pretty straight. I am okay with that. Okay, now let's decide the order that these are going to go in. So if we put them in this order, does that work? I think that works. Okay. Actually, notice on here the pattern. She's got the matching one for this one is the next square. The matching one for this one is the next square, etc. So if we were to do that, how would this look? This would go here, this would go here, this would go here, that one stays there, this would go here, this would go here, and that one would go there as kind of the odd man out. That works for me. Okay, so now we're going to place these down, and we're going to give it just a little bit of a shoulder, maybe 1/8 of an inch on the end. And we're going to give it 1/4 of an inch on the top and the bottom. Okay, I'm going to start with each end. And work my way in to the middle. I'm going to give this at least 1/8 of an inch, maybe just slightly more than 1/8 of an inch. Okay, let's see if we are close. Oops. Oh, I didn't put anything on this one yet. Okay. Yeah, I think that actually works pretty well. I think I'm going to move this one over just a smidgen. Just moved it barely, but that's okay. All right. So now we have our base pretty much together. You'll notice they use two 12-inch stickers right here. If you have two 12-inch stickers that are left and available from the same collection, by all means use them. If you don't have them, then I recommend that you find a matching a matching cardstock and just do a nice clean strip. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, here we go. Here's a nice dark green which matches this collection perfectly. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to just cut 1/4 of an inch off like that. Okay, and you can make this as decorative as you want to, but if you don't have the stickers to make it happen, then this is a way you can do it. Maggie! Come here, Max. Come here, Max.
Maggie.
Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
Okay. So I'm just going to put that across kind of the bottom little bit of each of those squares. Then I'm going to come in here with some stickers. And I'm going to just stick these right down. I'm not going to pop them off. You could pop them up with foam squares if you wanted to. And I don't know, I guess that would be kind of a cool thing to do. But it would definitely add width to your page. And so if you don't want a whole lot of width to your page, then I don't recommend it. Okay, so I have 3 reindeer. So I thought what I would do is come in here with a couple of these guys. And if we do a second one, then I'll use that 3rd reindeer on the 2nd page. So I'm going to put a reindeer here and a reindeer, maybe put a reindeer here, and then we can put another one on the 2nd page and it will be kind of balanced, right? I'm going to do the two presents. Because presents, right? Excuse me. Okay, so we're just gonna put that one down there, this one down, maybe here. Maybe I should have turned that the other way. Come on. There we go. Turn this guy going that way. We can do a candy cane and a stocking. Maybe kind of like that, so they're sort of in the same scene. And I'm going to do let's try we've got two different candy canes. I've got an extra little kind of holly berry. I've actually got a couple of those, which maybe we'll use both. Kind of like that. And then do Merry and Bright. Let's do that. Let's do Merry and Bright, and we'll just kind of have this poking out over here like that. And let's pop up Merry and Bright. I think that's a cute idea. So we'll do some foam squares. Put one over that to kind of anchor it down. Add one up here. Need a couple. Okay, let's try one right in here. Hopefully that works. Yeah. Okay, good. All right, now I need my powder because I don't want this to stick. So I'll get our powder out. Whew. All right then. You can see all the powder on my table. I know there were some people that when they first got their anti-stick powder, they were saying they didn't think it was working because they couldn't get the powder to come out. But if the more you use it, the more you bang it on your table or on top of a sticker, the more it will start to come out. And you'll see evidence like that. All right, so Merry and Bright, just like that. Let me stick all my stickers down because I didn't stick them all down just in case I needed to move them around. Okay, so that border is done. Let's move on to another one, shall we? Okay, so here are some more sort of leftover supplies that we're going to turn into another set of borders. But I'm going to only do one for you today just to save some time. I'll go back and finish the second one for myself. So I have two 2x12 pieces of cranberry cardstock. I have some leftover cranberry cardstock, some dark green cardstock. I have one whole sheet of paper from Christmas Charm. It's the one with the trees and the pretty gold stripes on the back. We're going to use that, and we're going to use our imaginations. We're going to use our paper trimmer, and we're going to use a decorative blade. So I don't use my decorative blades enough, and I'm sure you have probably noticed that I don't use them very often at all. But I am going to use them today because I think they're fun and I really like them a lot. And something that I learned when I went to Alabama to a special conference for advisors that Nicole so organized, I learned that you can turn your blades around and pop them in this way instead of this way, and they're easier to get out. So if you have decorative blades that you're storing on the back of your trimmer, you might want to try this trick, because look, your finger can fit right in there and pop those out super easy like that. Whereas these, for me, sometimes get stuck. That one came out pretty well, but sometimes they get stuck. So if you pop them in the other way, then you have a little more leverage. I'm all about that, right? Okay, so I'm going to use the Victorian blade today. And hopefully I'm not going to cough too much. Hopefully my husband was able to get that cough that I just had and make it go away. So if you notice an unusual void in the sound, it's not your imagination. It's him trying to spare you from listening to me cough. All right, so I'm going to take this paper, and the very top where the stars are on the trees, I'm going to just move to the right hand cutting line on my mat. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and trim off the top using that fun Victorian blade. Okay, then I'm going to turn it around so that we can measure out what we're going to do here. All right, so I think what I want is a 3-inch border. So I'm going to cut this at 3 inches. Again, still with that decorative blade in the end. And I'm going to cut another one at 3 inches so that, and actually, you're going to think this is really odd, but I'm going to cut this again so that the star is right at the top, so that my other border is going to look the same. Okay, so 3 and 3. All right, so those are the two bases for our borders. Now I'm going to take the remaining paper, we're going to flip it over, we're going to use the gold side. And for the purpose of conserving paper, I'm going to cut this at 3/4 of an inch. And it doesn't really matter what you cut it with, but because I still have that decorative blade in there, it just makes it easier to cut the next piece. So 2 strips for each border, so I need 4 strips at 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so I'm gonna just move these over here. 2 for that one, 2 for that one. And I think what I'm going to do is another 1/2 inch piece. So we're going to do 2 1/2 inch pieces. All right. Now I'm going to take these red pieces and just put that edge. Do I need the edge along this one? No, I'm not going to put an edge on this one. I'm going to leave it. All right, let's see where we get with that. All right, and I have not made this before, so please be understanding with that. I'm sort of making this up as I go, which isn't always a bad thing, but sometimes I change my mind along the way, and then where am I, right? Okay, so I just put repositionable adhesive up each side. I'm going to place my border on my mat so that I can keep it straight, and so that I can, oh, and it looks like this is just beyond 2 inches. It's not exactly 2 inches. But that's okay. It'll be fine. And so I'm going to place this on here so that my measurement adds another 1/2 inch. So give me a second here and I will be able to tell you more conclusively. Okay, so there's that one. This one. All right, so basically what you end up with is a border that is 2.5 inches. Okay, then that 2.5 inch border, the 2.5 inch border is going to go on top of this border right here. So I'm just going to center that. Like so. Then I'm going to take one of these 1/2 inch pieces. This piece is going to go right down the middle. Like that. Okay. Now, that's the base for the border. Okay. Now what we're going to do is come back in here with some embellishments, and we're going to use, let's see, so I made a bunch of borders recently in a class that Sherry Tilley did, and you've heard me mention Sherry Tilley before. She's awesome. And these were the only, I don't know if you can really see that one. These were the only embellishments I had left from the whole embellishment pack. So I thought, well, those embellishments deserve a home, but they need to have some kind of, I don't know, they need something. So we need to give them a little bit of something to offset them, right? So I think what I'm going to do is create a backdrop for them. Will this one work? Yeah, I think so. Might stick off the edge just a little, but that's okay. Or let's see about the big one. Yeah, that's going to be really small. So we could do this one. Oh yeah, let's do that one. That one is the number 1, 2. That's a number 2 oval. And we're going to, because it's Christmas, I'm going to use the green. And then we're going to cut one with the red. So first we're going to do the green. Get this put on here where I can kind of conserve some paper. All right. So there's a dark green piece. Now I need a red piece. Grab this piece of red over here. Same oval, but we're going to use the red blade to make it just a smidge smaller. My children are upstairs playing with our new puppy, which I would love to introduce you to, but it seems like every time I'm doing an introduction recording, she is upstairs, or she's playing, or she's outside with someone. Can you tell who the most popular member of the family is at the moment? I'll introduce you, I promise. Alright, so I didn't quite cut that one through well enough, so let me grab my scissors and just trim it off a little. Clean it up a little. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to add this guy in on top so that it has that nice frame. And then we're going to add these these two big Christmas trees. And I'm going to offset both of them. Are we going to do both of them on one side and then something else on the other? Or should we do one on one side and one on the other? I just really like that. A flock of trees. Okay, I think we'll just do both of them. We'll just do both of them. How's that? One thing is really fun about this collection and the embellishments are these wonderful laser cut trees, and they are just so well done and so pretty. I really love them. They remind me so much of Bavaria and our time that we spent in Germany. I don't know why necessarily, because there's nothing like distinctly German about them. It's just for some reason they remind me of Bavaria. Cuckoo clocks and all the fun woodwork. Okay, so here's the one. Okay, let me go ahead and, whoa, my adhesive, she is stuck. Okay, so there's the one, and I'm gonna do, let me do up the other one real quick, and we'll speed that along so that you can see the embellishment that goes with it, okay? Okay, so now we have our second border to go with this, to match this. And we are going to come back in here with our stickers, and I've got one more embellishment. So we're going to use that. I'm going to use this Christmas time at home. Christmas time at home. And I'm going to use the wreath up here. And the sleigh. Sorry, the sleigh is kind of stuck because I pulled it up to use it in another layout and then I stuck it back down. Okay, so I am going to let's see. Maybe we'll do something like that. And then something like Christmas time at home. Maybe I need to lift this up and make it a little more centered. Or even make it a little more off like that. And one like that. Christmas time at home. All right, I think we're gonna go with that. Got stickers on there that will help stick that down. Christmas time at home. Okay. And this one's gonna go right here, about the same distance in as the other one. All right, I think that will work. All right, what do you think? So that's for one page, this is for the other. I think I like them. I think they turned out cute. Sometimes it's fun to challenge yourself and see what you can create with the scraps that you have left, or the little bits. And I challenge you to do that. Take a look at the scraps, the whatnot that you have left from a collection, and see what you can make. I bet you'll surprise yourself. I hope you're enjoying this holiday season. We are about halfway. We're more than halfway. This is episode 7 of our 12 days of layouts. So I hope that you are enjoying our 12 days, and we have about 5 more to go. So I'm excited. I hope you are too. Thanks so much for joining me today. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. You take care. I'm excited about today.